Hey all my fellow and soon-to-be maniacs out there, this is the Chainsaw Maniac and welcome back to another edition of Coffee and Chainsaws where we talk about what has happened over the past week and certain things that's going on in terms of my projects and what I'm doing and what's going on, you know, what have I completed, yada yada, you know. So if you guys enjoy the content that I do and you would like to see more, I suggest you head on down and hit that like button as well as drive on by on that subscribe button and ring that notification bell if you want to be notified of anything else I do on this channel. Also keep a lookout on my community tab. I always update you guys on what's to come in terms of the live streams and things that has happened and just little updates on the channel itself. So let's start off with the current challenge that's just ended, and there will be another one at the end of each month, I assume. So the current challenge was the 3D moving meditations challenge, and unfortunately I did not make the cut, guys. I didn't make it into the top 100 this time, but you know, next time I'm more prepared now than I was at the beginning of last month, because I only heard about the challenge in the last like 9 days. So now I'm prepared for whenever this challenge hits now, for the end of this month. I am prepared. I'm 100% prepared now for what's to come, and I'm gonna put in all the effort and whatever I can do for the end of this month. Also at the end of this month we will be the results for the Webtoon call to action contest will be coming in as well. So yeah, I'm on the lookout for that, as well as the deadline for the current manga contest that is happening, the manga to anime manga contest, one of the latest ones that I will be entering. So yeah, we will see. This is gonna be quite a busy month for me. So yeah, because I'm also working on my own short film in the back, which I want to get out pretty quickly, as well as working on my webtoon. I'm still working on it in the meantime. Kill All Heroes. If you guys haven't read it, I suggest you check it out. Links are all in the description down below. I'm still continuing it, but I'm taking my time with it because the Webtoon call to action contest is still an ongoing thing, and obviously my submission is locked, and that's usually where the biggest audience is in terms of my content. Whenever I get the chance or whenever I finish the episode, I will be putting it out on Deliab in the meantime, as well as other comic platforms. You know, there is also another Manga Plus thing happening, which is also done by Shueisha, so that's interesting. So if you upload up to like 3 episodes a month on there, as well as getting a manga onto like weekly Shonen Jump or something like that. So that's pretty cool. So we'll see how that goes. You know, lately, the more I've been working on the animation, I've been focusing more on the animation front because I just enjoy it more and I'm having more fun with it. I will still be doing my comics and everything, but I'll be focusing more on animation. So yeah, don't expect me to post every week or every like bi-weekly as often as I do, because once I get into animation, I get into it. Like, I really just enjoy the process. I really enjoy working on these new things, and it's pretty cool to do like small projects every month. So we'll see how that goes. I do want to complete the first season of Kill All Heroes. So the first season's about 12 episodes. So I'm currently finishing up episode 6 now. So we're halfway done through the first season, and then, you know, another 6, and then we will be done with the first season. So that's pretty cool in terms of that comic. And then I'll be hopping onto, I think I'll be hopping back onto The Merchant of Ignatius. Actually, I'll be going back to that comic and actually finishing it up. And also currently coming up for the next live stream, I'm planning to do like these animation challenges. So basically what these challenges are about is we do like a randomizer type thing. It generates a theme for us. It generates multiple themes or multiple aspects of a character as well, and we're gonna put these things together and we're gonna build a short little animation from like maybe like 6 to 10 seconds, you know, maybe and I'm gonna try to finish that animation within the stream itself from start to finish. So that's going to be a cool little challenge every stream for the allotted time that I have. So in terms of actually I have the amount of time it takes for me to stream, which is usually like maximum 5 to 6 hours. That's the amount of time I'm gonna need to finish that entire animation within the stream. At least that's the maximum amount of time I can take during the stream, and I'm gonna try to finish the entire animation. up on stream. I might actually do some tweaking off the stream, just in terms of the compositing and making things look a bit more, you know, fixing up the color correction and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll do that off stream, obviously. So that's actually a finished piece that I can post it on my socials as well as YouTube itself. So we can get like cool little short animations every now and then up on the channel. And I think that will be pretty cool. Yeah, so that's moving forward. I will be doing that more on stream. And at the end of this month, close to the end of this month, whatever is the last stream of the month, I will be doing my final trilogy to the call to action reading. So I'll be, you know, if you guys don't know, I've been reading call to action entries and I've actually been ranking them myself. So like what I would do is I would read 10 entries. So I'll read those 10 entries and then I'll rank them, and the top 3, I'll do fan art for the top 3 entries. Last week's stream was so cool. We got to see some really awesome art by someone named Crimson, who's also on a Discord now, as well as I think it's Tunity, who also has a really cool comic, and I will be leaving links to those 2 comics in the description down below because they were just phenomenal in terms of the amount of work they put into that comic, as well as the quality of the comic was so good. So I'm going to put that down in the description down below if you guys want to check that out and support those creators, because they're doing some really cool stuff and very underrated creators. And that's the thing I've noticed, like the most underrated creators are creating the most insane stuff, and it's just people are just flying by, just not like getting to see this cool stuff. It's more so to do with Webtoon's weird, like playing more on the romance genre, because that's what they are known for. That's what they're seen for. Webtoon is more romance driven. It's just what it is. I know they kind of leaning more to the action side to gain more male followers, but like honestly, I'm not going to Webtoon for my action comics, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see in terms of where this thing is going and how far it will go, and will they actually have that pull to the other side of the audience, you know, the more gritty action as well, darker side of the audience, like where I guess I'm included. But like I've said, like Webtoon has to rebrand if they're gonna do that type of comic genre. They can't have it all, you know, they can't have it all on one side, because what you're gonna do is you're going to displease certain audiences and you're gonna please certain audiences, because your main fan base, you're gonna lose them, because now you're trying to appeal to a different, more, I would argue, a smaller audience, usually than the giant romantic like audience they've built over the years. So if I were them, I would double down on that and just do that, but then also create a different branding side to Webtoon, where you, like the other artists can flourish as well, like the more darker, the more like crazier type of ideas and stuff like that. For instance, like Tappers, if you go to Tappers, the cool thing about, like, I just love how they site is laid out, in terms of they have one section that's romantic and all, you know, cushy gushy all on one side, but then they also, once you flip, there's another side to Tappers, you have the more action driven, like, you know what I mean? So it would be cool if like Webtoon had that thing, and I think moving forward they should actually maybe implement something similar to that, but who knows where that goes, who knows what their ideas are for the future, you know. I'm just doing my thing. I don't really give a shit where Webtoon go. I'm kind of building my own little thing here on the side. I'm building myself up rather than building myself onto a platform, you know what I mean? I don't want people to look at me and be like, oh yeah, Chainsaw Maniac, you know, he's a Webtoon creator. Like, you know, yeah, sure, I create comics, then I put them up on Webtoon, but I don't want to be known as a Webtoon creator, because after all, I am a professional animator, and that's what I'm going to be known for. That is my bread and butter. I enjoy animation so much, and I love the art of animation. That's what I love, that's what I enjoy, that's what I breathe, that's what I love. I just enjoy it so much, and that's what I'm going to be known as. And you know, in the future, I actually had an idea for the future, like planning my own little challenges, my own little contests that I will be putting up for you guys, so you guys can actually enter and win some cash. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put out some cash for you guys, some cash prizes. So yeah, that'll be cool, because I always want to give back to the community, and you know, we're going to see how we can do this. You know, I'm not going to have 50k up in my pocket, maybe $50 maximum. You know what I mean? But it's just all for the fun of it, and you know, it's just for a cool little, cool little challenge. You know, it won't be as intense as maybe like a 10-minute you know, animation short film challenge. Maybe just like short, very short challenges, very short competition, you know, in terms of the amount of work you're gonna output, you know what I'm saying? So maybe like a 6-second, the best 6-second animation you can put out, you know what I mean? Like short competitions like that. Maybe I do like a 10-panel comic. You guys can do an awesome 10-panel comic like within 10 panels. It doesn't have to be, you know, from start to finish. It can be within certain fight scenes, you know. So yeah, it'll be cool to do something like that, you know what I mean? Obviously still have to plan it and go through certain things, but right now I don't think I would do it right now. Maybe one day when we reach that 1K, you know, we surpass 1K, we going on to 4K, 5K, 10K, you know what I'm saying? At that point, you know, I have a big enough draw with my audience that I can actually do such elaborate and crazy challenges for myself. So yeah, that'll be cool to do, to give back to the community as well as like have fun with it, you know what I'm saying? That's something that I am planning up in the future, near futures. So yeah, we're gonna do that. But yeah, it's interesting to see how the webcomic platforms are growing. You know, everybody's like moving towards webcomics or the vertical scrolling format, as I've seen. Even Shueisha now is moving to that format with their manga, which is very interesting. So you can tell the comics industry is kind of moving in a slightly different direction. And it's all thanks, I think, to Webtoon. To be honest with you, Webtoon over the past few years has basically skyrocketed, you know, in terms of digital scrolling comics. Like, it's really skyrocketed, and it's also beaten some other comics in terms of statistics and like global views and stuff like that. So it's very interesting. From what I'm seeing, they could be the highest in terms of that certain aspect. So it's very interesting to see where they go. It's very interesting to see where things move. And I always like creating stories, you know, whether it's animation or comics. You know, I enjoy both. I enjoy animation more because I just do. I just incline to it more. But I also just like telling stories. So that's why comics are a good thing for me in terms of telling the story without doing too much, because animation is quite intense, especially if you're a single creator. I know this is much easier these days, you know, than back in the day when you had like a freaking light box and a few sheets of paper and you actually had to do that thing that way. Nowadays it's quite easy, especially how the animation software has grown over the years. I mean, now, like specifically with like Blender, like because I do all my 2D animations in Blender, like this things you can do now that just makes things flow so easily. It makes things like animations that would normally take you a freaking week to finish can take you up to a day now. And that's so insane how far like the technology is like moving in terms of like helping artists. And I know there's even like AI now, and I don't think AI will ever take our jobs, guys. I don't know why everyone's panicking, because it's not going to take our jobs. All AI is, it's gonna be a tool. Honestly, it's going to be a tool that we're going to use that's just going to make our lives easier. You know what I mean? I can see it in the future, because that's what's going to be. We're just going to have, because AI comes with its own problems, its own challenges that you have to face. It's not like just pressing one button and, wow, I have everything right here now. No, that's not how it's going to work. Like, maybe you get lucky and the first time around you get something cool, but normally the AI, you can see it's like, it just works for certain things. So people who thought they could cheat their way to the top, you know, it's just not going to work. Because at the end of the day, the industry would rather pay for a highly skilled artist than an AI that can do certain things, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, for the lesser skilled artists, this is gonna be a problem for you guys, because you guys are gonna be fucked. I'm just telling you how it is. Like, experience beats AI like any day of the week, you know what I'm saying? Like, because as experienced artists can do things that AI can't do. It's just the human aspect of it and the experience of the human that will just outbeat the AI in certain aspects of things. And for instance, like animation, and like I don't see an AI actually building a pipeline and doing all types of animations, you know, because there is a human aspect to animation in terms of the flow and the movement of the character, as well as there's certain rules. Like, this is the thing about AI. AI can only do what you program it to do. That's the only thing it can do. It can't break the rules like humans can. There are certain things in animation that if you go through the best works of animation that you've ever seen in your life, you will see there's a human aspect to it that it far surpasses what AI would ever think of doing, given the set parameters that you've set for the AI. Because AI can't be innovative, is what I'm trying to say. They can't create their own thing, you know what I mean? All they can do is mimic what already exists, you know what I'm saying? So for them to come up with something new, as like a professional or a very experienced artist would do through their years of experiencing different things and then putting it together into something and then forming something new with it, like AI can't do that as of right now. I don't know if it will be different in the future, but I doubt it will ever come to that point, because there is always that human aspect of art that AI will always fail to comprehend or figure out, you know what I mean? They limited to what we program into them. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like they only work on the set parameters that you have set for them. So yeah, it's just how it is, you know? I think AI is going to be pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cool because it's going to make things so much easier in terms of the workflow and how they, like, people or artists themselves work within the industry. And I can definitely see throughout my career, like, me using AI to do certain things. Like, for instance, like certain programs use AI all the time. Just don't call it AI. I guess it's certain forms of AI. For instance, like auto color correction or anything where you just click a button. It's like auto this, auto that, you know, in certain programs. It's a form of AI. I mean, we are already using it. I don't know why people's panicking so much. It's like just a different form of AI, a more primitive form, be it that. But like, sooner or later it's gonna get a bit more advanced, and we're gonna kind of adapt to it, and it's just gonna be another thing, you know? It's not really that big of a thing, is what I'm trying to say. And I've been rambling for quite some time about AI, so yeah. So it's gonna be really cool to see all the stuff I can do with it in the future. Maybe in the future I wouldn't need a whole freaking month to make an animation, you know? Maybe in the future it takes me a week, you know? It takes me a couple of weeks, maybe even. So that would be pretty cool, you know? If there was a way for AI to also optimize your PC so that renders don't take too long or something like that, right? Something crazy like that will be cool. Like certain things like that will just help your workflow, make things move faster, make you finish tasks faster, keep things moving, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure about the comics industry, because even though I make comics, I'm not like a professional comic artist, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that much about comics. I read some comics, but I'm not really that deep in the comics or web comics space, you know what I'm saying? Specifically Webtoon and those type of things, you know what I'm saying? I just tell stories, or at least try to tell stories to the best of my ability, and I just want to create something cool, you know? I just enjoy creating cool projects. It doesn't really matter what form it comes in. Like, if I can tell a cool story in a cool way, like, I'll just do it however I can. For me, the best way is animation, but unfortunately animation takes time, takes a lot of work, takes a lot of effort. I'm not saying comics don't take that much effort, but come on, like animation, I have to draw every frame, I have to put them in sequence, you know? It's just a different set of difficulties that you will be facing with different forms of art, you know? There is always, but obviously I find comics way more easier than animation, because I'm just drawing basically a keyframe. That's basically what I'm drawing, a set keyframe, like of obviously you have to tune up the keyframe, but it's not as simplistic as animation, because animation, you know, you're gonna see that frame for like what, less than a second. You're gonna see that frame, right? So like, you don't have to tune up every frame, you know. But like with comics, you know, you have to make the panel a bit more detailed, because people's gonna spend a bit longer on the comic panel itself, especially if there's dialogue involved. Also, the cool thing about comics is you don't need like voice actors to voice your comic, you know what I mean? Because everything is like in like text form, so yeah, that's pretty cool as well. Like in terms of like film, imagine you like creating a film like you know, Avengers. You need like freaking Mark Ruffalo and all these other people to cast in your film to build up its value and whatever. Whereas, you know, with a comic, you can freaking just draw whatever you want in there, and they're in there, and you add your own value to your characters. Yeah, it just makes the story process easier. It's also like the same with like 3D films. Like, if you want to make a 3D film, you don't need to like pay out your ass for it nowadays. You can literally just use Blender, build your entire set. And I mean, you've seen some of the analog harder things that has come out over the past few months. Like, you've seen the advancements with that and 3D, you know, modeling software in terms of like the backrooms, one of the most popular analog harders on the internet. Most of the assets made in there was made in Blender. You can see the potential of like a solo creator doing stuff like that. That's pretty cool. They can make an entire world. They can like build this entire narrative and story through so little with free software. You know, that's how far we've come over the like past, like what, you know what I mean, few years. Like, it's so insane. You know, whereas back in the day you would have to pay for Photoshop, Maya, and all these other things. Now you can do like things with all types of free software. There's DaVinci Dissolve now, you know, you get your free like video software, you get like, and then like there's so much like cheap alternatives as well. You know, Blender's absolutely free. There's so much add-ons, there's so much crazy stuff you can do with it. I mean, if you want to be like a film director or whatever, like, and you just, it's just yourself, you don't really have, you know what I mean, like you don't really have access to people or certain things, you can literally, with a few little voice changing apps and stuff like that, you can create some crazy shit. So yeah, I see a lot of potential in future projects and what's coming out. I mean, you know what I've seen lately? I've seen this, I don't know who said this, but I can see in the future, or at least the near future, what's coming up now and what's to come. Indie creators are gonna flourish. Trust me, they're gonna flourish in what's to come in the next few years, because all the big companies are doing, like, I mean, She-Hulk, like this, they're peddling this weird narrative, and like they're trying, like Marvel's trying to be all inclusive and everything. Like, that's fine. I mean, it's fine, but like when it's blatantly in your face that it's forced into the narrative just to make everyone feel included, you know what I mean? And like stories are built around sexualities and race and stuff, like it's like that aspect has to be, and like this entire story is not even based on that aspect. Like, it's not even based on that aspect. Like, why are we doing, like, why can't you just tell a cool story without shoving all this weird like stuff in there that adds nothing to the story? If anything, it takes a lot away from the story. So like all these like weird stuff being peddled within the industry, and it's like businesses, you know, trying to show you that they care, but they actually don't. They don't actually give a fuck to that. All they care about is making money. That's what people don't realize. They're like, oh yeah, Disney's doing this cool thing. Oh yeah, this company. Oh yeah, Webtoon. No, they don't give a shit about you. They honestly don't care. All they care about is the money. That's all they care about. I don't know why people keep looking up to these corporate giant dickheads that's all the way on top and thinking that they have their best interests in mind. They don't care. Whatever makes them look good and gives them money, they will do it, okay? Because they are greedy fucks and they will do whatever they can to get the money they need. Like, and that's fine. I don't like businesses taking advantage of people, but like you also have to be a bit more competent, I would say. I don't know if I'm using this word correctly, but you know what I mean, like in terms of your thinking and stuff like that. Because like if they want to take advantage of you and you give them the opportunity to do so, they're going to take that opportunity. They're going to sell you all the crap they can give you, and you're just going to eat it up. You're just going to eat out of their hand, basically. I can see a turning point. The pendulum is going to swing hard into the other direction. Sometime, whenever it is, the companies are going to get so full of themselves and they're going to peddle all this bullshit that no one wants to see, and people will get sick of spending their money on things that they don't want to see and things that have kind of manipulated them in certain aspects or in certain ways, and they're gonna just go to the indie creators who can deliver to them what they are looking for, what they are seeking, and they're gonna feel more comfortable with supporting more of their own and their own creators and their own communities. And the corporate people are just gonna be on the decline, and then they're gonna, but you know what corporations do? They like, oh, you like this group of people, we're gonna hire them and we're gonna bring them into our company, and we're gonna start and maybe give them some creative control until, you know, they slide sneakily, slowly into that creator's process, and they inject all that shit that they still have backed up there in that greedy pile of nonsense, and they're gonna inject it into those creators' process, and then it's gonna feed in again, and you know, it's just kind of like that weird cycle. It just goes on and on and on. But I can see like indie creators are definitely gonna catch a giant break in the future, like in terms of like people are going to flock more to indie creators. I can see it because it's so much easier nowadays for indie creators, especially now, to make like names for themselves and build on their own brand, you know, and do all these cool things and then make a voice for themselves, you know. They just you just have to learn how to do so. That's all you have to do, is just learn how to do so. It's not easy, but it's much more easier now than it was back in the day. Like, alhamdulillah, you know, God bless, you know, I'm in a very good space. I'm in a very good company who has my best interest in mind, and they work with me, and I know everyone, and they're cool. They're kind of like my own little family, and you know, they always support me for my creative works and stuff like that. So I would say, I'm in terms of a creative space, I would say I'm in a very privileged position compared to most others. I worked hard to get here, obviously. You know, it's not been an easy road. You know, I had to freaking like go through so much trials and tribulations to get where I am. You know, I basically, damn, I had to do so much shit. I mean, remember like starting out like as an intern in the company. Most of the stuff I had to do for free, and people say, oh, that's unfair. Yeah, but at the time the company was very small. You know, we had to do a lot of stuff for free most of the time. To grow with this company has been so cool. You know, obviously in the future, you know, maybe I'll move on, maybe I do my own thing, but for now, like, you know, I want to do good by the company, and you know, what they've done for me, and I always appreciate the amount of stuff they've done for me. They've always had my back. You know, most people don't have that. I mean, back in the day, freaking hell, I almost joined the gaming industry, which was another dark alleyway you don't want to walk down. Oh my god, the gaming industry is another crazy place to be. Shout out to all the gaming creators out there, especially the indie gamer creators. Like, hopefully you guys are getting in all that cash, hopefully getting that bag. Like, goddamn, it's a tough time out there for you guys. Anyway, I've been rambling for quite some time, but if you guys enjoy the rambling, enjoy me talking a bunch of nonsense in your ears, I suggest you head on down. This is your second reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, as well as comment down below your thoughts on anything I've said during this little video edition of Coffee and Chainsaws, as well as check out my live streams. If you enjoy more rambling and more madness, I suggest you check out one of my live streams. I do it every Saturday as well, 9 p.m. SAST, which is around 3 p.m. EST, if I'm not mistaken. So just be on the lookout for that. You know, you can go to Delia for all my comic works. You know, there's Webtoon, there's, you know, it's just all in the description down below. Just go down there, support your boy, and do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? We are gonna be doing lots of cool stuff coming up this month and next month and the following month. Every month is just gonna be awesome stuff. You know, I'm gonna be doing some really cool projects coming out soon. So yeah, be on the lookout for anything else I do, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye, guys.